Today is my uncle's wake. And yesterday I actually talked to my dad. And Mr. doesn't know because I chose not to share that with him. And I'll share with you why. Because you're offering me an ear to just listen. And that's all I need right now. Even to listen just when I'm not talking. Just listen and let me feel. Because I'm sick of even black women policing black women, you know? I like to cape for the cause, but pay attention to some of those discussions and comments under those posts about protecting black women and black women's wellness and mental. Because even in the discussions on those posts and those topics, podcasts, whatever, you'll find black females policing the very grown black women they're telling you to protect and to let them self-care, and they don't owe you shit. But if I show up realizing I have the unpopular opinion, because that's what I'm going to have, because I am unusual. I'm the odd man out, pun intended, because I'm talking about bitches right now, but I'm the odd man out for the most part in most cases. And even with females who claim to cape for black women, that's not okay. I'm not allowed that. I'm not allowed that. So while we're talking about protecting black women and giving us the space for personal black wellness, it's like feminism. Feminism masks itself as something that promotes women's empowerment, female empowerment. But it's full of weak bitches. You ever been to a women's empowerment conference? I have not, because I've been this person since I was a little girl, and I recognize bullshit on sight. But those women empowerment conferences are full of, well, we already know they're full of the audiences, but the people on the females on the panel are the worst and the weakest. It's horrible, but this is our world, y'all. It really is. It really is. It really is. I'm just touching this up because I'm going to, it's half cried off. I didn't cry in front of Mister because I didn't want to talk about it, especially with him, because he is the catalyst for why my anxiety is triggered right now. He didn't do it, but he presented the circumstances so that it could go down, and I'm not happy about it. I'm furious. I'm livid. So let's go water the garden. It's probably going to be too hot to sit out there and talk, so maybe I'll just set the camera up in the middle and talk to you guys inside, in between harvests and watering and whatever else we're going to do out there, because I need to. Even if I don't say it out loud and just think whatever I'm feeling, then I need to do that, all while not putting any, certain energy into the air. It's like my dad said, I don't want to be going to your funeral, because he asked me several times in the conversation, because he's suffering with a little dementia. He asked me several times, are you coming out for the funeral? And I was like, I'm not, all 5 times I said, Daddy, I'm not ejected. I got to talk loud because he has a hearing aid. I'm not ejected. He's like, oh, well, you going to get you? I'm like, no, Daddy, I'm not going to get that thing. And he said, well, I want you to consider it, because I don't want to be coming to your funeral. And I said, I don't either. I wanted to say I don't want to be coming to yours either. But not only is that inappropriate, not because it's disrespectful, but he's older than me, so it's an automatic assumption that I would be going to his funeral. But we all know 2008, it could have been my funeral. But anyway, because you don't know what Goddess has lined up in our workload on this earth or beyond. But I said, no, Daddy, I haven't. So he's like, well, I want you to consider it. He's like, you haven't gotten it? I was like, no, Daddy. You gonna get it? No, Daddy. And I told him why, maybe twice, only twice. But both of those times, he responded by saying, you are your daddy's daughter. So he knows exactly what the fuck. As I'm sure my uncle did. Even in their dementia. I'm going to start calling him weekly. It's a struggle talking to him because of the hearing impairment, but I'm not going to let this country cheat me out of my earthly goodbyes like they did with my uncle. So, I have tissue, but I'm in the bathroom, so. Toilet paper tears it is. This has got to be the most I have ever cried in my life. But this is also the closest person to me that I have ever lost. What you say? You're right. You're absolutely right. I heard you ask. Girl, you swaying. We all know what that is. But you clearly haven't smoked yet. So why don't you go get you something to match that sway? You're right. I will. Oh, I thought I turned this off. Okay, well, let's go give the garden some side boob. I was only out there for probably 10 minutes, so I didn't leave the camera going too long. Fortunately, I got caught up dancing. Dancing to the BT Express. I love y'all, and I appreciate you. And whenever the world loses any of you, if it's 100 years down the line, whenever the earth loses you, it will have lost another strand of pure radiance. And so let me give you this flower while you're here. Although it's a couple of y'all that get your flowers from me in real life. My elevators know. But there is a love that I have for a lot of y'all that, I don't mean that influencer shit, because y'all know I don't do phony. I mean like, I really appreciate y'all.